We now join World News Now.
And steering in. Of another Citicorp skyscraper, a glass tower, he noted the devastating effects of a bomb. Quote, each piece of glass becomes a potential flying piece of cutthroat shrapnel. Berat also concluded he could avoid scrutiny by using stretched limousines, preferably black, not white, and filling them with explosives or gas cylinders, all part of, quote, a synchronized, concurrent, back-to-back execution on the same day and time. Authorities found other surveillance reports on buildings in Newark, New Jersey and Washington, D.C. But in the end, Berat apparently decided that security in the U.S. was too tight, and when he was arrested, he was making plans to attack buildings and subways in London. Brian Ross, ABC News, New York.
A University of Miami football player was shot dead outside his home after leaving practice last night. Police called to a Miami apartment complex, found the body of Brian Pata in the parking lot. Pata was a senior and was expected to be selected in next spring's NFL draft.
Finally, in the Pacific Northwest, a break from 5 days of relentless rain, but the record-breaking storm has left a trail of misery in parts of Washington and Oregon. At least one home was washed away, and hundreds of others are being threatened by rising rivers. And along the Oregon coast, 3 homes are still on the brink of being washed into the ocean. So you can imagine that perhaps the last thing on their minds right now is the state of the election and the House and Senate, which still up for grabs. Yeah, Washington results are in. I mean, quite a few people did come out to the polls, even though it was probably miserable getting there. Absolutely.
And you think about a lot of situations where weather starts to play an adverse impact, and one of these sort of political strategists that are somewhere inside the Beltway probably sit there and calculate based on weather maps. Well, we have a better chance of mobilizing the base today or not?
Absolutely. And we have some interesting breakdowns based on exit polls on who favored Democrats this time around, who maybe didn't last time. And if we have a little time later this half hour, hopefully we'll get to that and chat about it.
Still to come on World News Now, Politics in Perspective, a unique look at midterm elections past from the late great David Brinkley.
And oops, she did it again. Divorce, that is. We'll have the skinny on Britney's latest breakup. I got the camera out. It made me feel she's never been.
Well, I can't walk.
I can walk, but not very far.
I can't even stand anymore.
And it gave me no freedom.
If you or a loved one suffer from limited mobility, we have incredible news. Now you may qualify for your very own new Invacare power chair or scooter at little or no cost to you. Call Mobility Products Unlimited right now to begin your free pre-qualification process. Invacare's powered mobility products are comfortable, stylish, easy to maneuver, and go anywhere.
It's given me freedom to go places I want to go and do things that I want to do.
So pick up the phone and call Mobility Products right now, risk-free. Their friendly specialists handle all the paperwork and make it fast and easy to begin the pre-qualification process for your very own Invacare power chair or scooter. You could get yours within just days. There's no pressure, no obligation, no cost for the call, and your satisfaction is guaranteed.
So if you're stuck at home, call 1-800-972-2110 right now. Friendly mobility specialists are standing by.
My lymphoma had not only come back, but it was life-threatening.
After I discovered I was pregnant, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
When I first found out that Frank had cancer, I felt like my whole world had fallen apart.
I went to one more hospital because I wasn't willing to give up.
Being treated like a real person for the first time in 10 years was such a relief.
I feel like it's just like going back home.
My son.
Our cancer information specialists are available 24 hours a day. Call now and they'll send you this free life-changing video and information kit that shows you how state-of-the-art medicine combines with unique therapies to give you treatment options you may not even know exist.
We as cancer patients, for whatever reason, have been dealt this kind of pain. But there is hope on the other side, and there is great life after cancer.
After the doctor diagnosed my son with ADHD, I knew treatment was the right thing to do.
He's a smart kid, and he's made a lot of progress. But he's growing and changing, and treatment options change too.
I want to keep up, so he can keep doing the best he can.
To make sure your child's treatment keeps up with his changing needs, call 1-800-611-8560 or go to ADHDprogress.com for your free ADHD Progress Kit. You can get a workbook to help you know what to expect at different ages and a progress tracker. 8 tips for working with the doctor to ensure the right treatment for your child's needs, and the latest on treatment options from Shire.
I'm glad I got the kit. Now I know what to ask the doctor.
Get your free progress kit so you can keep up with ADHD and your child can keep making progress. Call 1-800-611-8560 or go to ADHDprogress.com today.
The final 2 revealed live. Dancing with the Stars, the results, ABC Tonight.
After the attacks on September 11th, the president has made patriotism a core value in his campaigns, a strategy which has given him public support even for the war in Iraq. But as the BBC's George Alja finds, in the historic city of Annapolis, being patriotic can now mean not supporting the war.
At Chick and Ruth's Diner on Main Street, your hash browns and eggs over easy come with a big helping of patriotism.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Not so long ago, being a patriot meant backing the war in Iraq. Not anymore. Now it means worrying about the men and women in harm's way.
It's very frightening. If you read the paper every day and you see the age of these young people, both men and women, 19, 20, 21, who never had a chance to have a life, it's very disturbing.
And few here can see an honorable end to it all.
You know, everybody thinks if we bring them home, everything will erupt and get any worse than it is. And if we leave them there, we're sacrificing our people for something right now we can't see an end to.
Now, despite all the complaints we've heard in there, it's worth remembering that come tomorrow morning, George Bush will still be in the White House. These elections are not about a change at the top. They may not even lead to a change in policy, but they may well measure the changing mood of a nation.
Down the road at the US Naval Academy, a new generation of officers. This is a place steeped in America's 18th century fight for independence from Britain. For many of those watching, that proud tradition has now been politicized. The blame game between Democrats and Republicans over Iraq, symbolic of a wider malaise.
You listen to the campaign ads and they're so nasty, but they're nasty on a part of both sides. It's just overwhelming. People are tired of that. They don't want to hear any more of that. They'd like somebody to come in and solve problems rather than just putting the blame on somebody else.
Annapolis was once America's capital at a time when it took control of its own affairs. Now people want control over politics. That's not just about choosing parties, but making them listen.
And that was David Alger from the BBC reporting. Interestingly, voters who felt Iraq was the #1 issue facing this country, 61% voted in favor of Democrats. That's something we'd seen in polls leading up to the election, but something we saw confirmed in exit polls.
And, you know, and these exit poll numbers are going to be chewed up and sort of analyzed to death in the next couple of days. And one of the things that President Bush is going to have to address tomorrow at some point is the fact that the country, at least in terms of the House, decided to go against his policies. And some of these protests, some of these votes were protests for his administration. Some of these were support for the candidates that were not Republicans.
Absolutely. And a lot of young voters, the 18 to 29-year-old demographic, 60% in favor of Democrats, 38 Republicans. So interesting mix there. Also, the president, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, 1 o'clock this afternoon, he'll be speaking.
All right. We're going to have some overseas news in a bit here. And we're going to be back with Declan Curry in a little bit.
And David Brinkley. We're going to go back into the video news vault. And it's always a good time when we do that.
All right. Stay with us.